Hey guys, thanks for joining me today for part 2 in the Depression There's Light series. And today we're going to address the dangers of depression. But before I start, just want to remind you, I'm not a licensed physician, I'm not a licensed psychiatrist or psychologist. If you're taking medications, please do not discontinue them without your doctor's permission. If you're feeling that you want to commit self-harm or harm to others, please get help immediately. There are 800 numbers available. Seek the guidance of trusted people around you, a religious authority, a doctor, or some other professional. And the hopes of these videos is to give you some information and personal experiences that will be helpful in pairing with your treatment or recognizing that indeed this is something that is more. Depression can result in many types of breakdowns and countless other end results that cannot be reversed. And I don't want anyone, anywhere, at any time to feel that the final option is the only option. Prior to the events of 2020, I think depression was taken kind of lightly. If someone said they were depressed, it was seen as something that would be just a feeling that was normal and would be quick in passing. Maybe just you're disappointed maybe in how things are, or you're not happy with how you're being treated, or events that happen. For example, the passing of a loved one, feeling alone, either physically or mentally or spiritually. And I think that most people didn't see it as anything that was too concerning, especially amongst those who are under the age of 21. Sometimes it's seen as a phase that you're going through. It's just something that's going to pass, but I don't think when anyone at all says they're depressed that it should be taken lightly. And again, it can be because of the different types of breakdowns that can occur. I'm not going to go into this in great detail because I like to be optimistic and positive and stay on those things to uplift and to motivate. So briefly, I'll just talk about some of the ways that depression can result in different types of breakdowns. One is in the breakdown of relationships, whether they be familial, people that you know from school or work, breakdowns in relationships, even between spouses. Depression can help to increase the focus of the negative aspects of a situation and to be seen more drastic and more extreme than they are. And when that happens, then the person who's depressed can end up having feelings that they've made a mistake, they've done something wrong, and then they begin to feel guilty. And those thoughts, once they begin, well, misery loves company. And then another thought comes, and another thought comes, and another thought comes. And once this barrage of thoughts happens, then the easiest and the most common reaction to throw up a shield or a wall against anything or anyone in an attempt to protect yourself. And that's only natural. But the problem with that is that it can result in a breakdown in those relationships that you hold most dear. When there's no communication, or you can't talk to an individual, or you feel like you can't talk to someone, and you decide to pull away then that causes problems that can grow larger as time goes on. And again, those feelings of guilt, those feelings of shame, those feelings of thinking you've made a mistake, those feelings that seem small to begin with get larger and larger. And once that we feel that we can't communicate or talk to someone, or someone feels that way about the person who's in depression, then that can cause relationship splits that sometimes can't be remedied. So that's one danger you really want to try to notice when it's happening, so that it doesn't get to the point of having relationships that can't be salvaged. And some of those relationships are ones that could be so important in your development, in your daily life, in coping with different things, and just in having having people around that you like talking to and being with and associating with. Everyone doesn't react the same way to someone's pronouncement that they're depressed. And since we can't control how others react or what others think, the breakdown could be permanent. So try to prevent, because we all can take action regardless of the state or situation we're in, and we can make sure that those actions are positive. Another danger of depression are physical breakdowns. The National Institute of Mental Health estimates that so many Americans are hospitalized annually with depression. So many seek counseling from professionals, and that number increased dramatically over the last year. Physical breakdown usually presents itself in signs of illness. You may feel lethargic, you may feel tired, you may have headaches, whether they are stress headaches or migraines. Sometimes migraines develop in people who've never had them. You can also have pains, physical pains, where you feel muscle aches. You can feel just heavy and like nothing that you're doing is making these physical symptoms any better. And sometimes diet can be a help, depending on what we're eating. If we're eating a diet that's full of just the wrong things, lots of sugar, lots of fat, lots of acidic foods, we're not paying attention to what we put in our bodies, that can have a huge effect on escalating those physical symptoms. Now, will eating a really healthy diet completely and totally take away depression? That depends on the person. It can also be due to medications having side effects. And if you think it's medication that's giving you these side effects along with the depression you feel, then you should talk to your doctor and let them know these things are happening. You can also go over the side effects that are listed on the prescription paraphernalia you receive to see if depression or if those physical symptoms of malaise and heaviness and aches and pains and headaches, maybe loss of appetite even, or the reverse, overeating which is called a lot of times emotional eating, if those are side effects due to medications you may be taking. Also, it can be due to a lack of sunlight, and especially during the winter months, depression numbers are higher due to the sun not being out as long, also due to holidays, seasons, Thanksgiving, the December holidays, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and New Year's. And these can bring on those physical symptoms because you're feeling overwhelmed with the stress you're feeling due to the time of year. And that can be due to events that have happened during that time of year, or just feeling like you're not in a position to be with people or interact with people, or you don't feel comfortable, or you feel awkward. And those physical symptoms can come about as a result of those as well. And one that's really huge can be a desire to harm yourself or others. Among those people who are being treated for depression in hospitals or in doctors' offices, over 20% are under the age of 18. And the rates have more than doubled over the last year across the board for all ages. It seems to happen because you feel that no one is listening. You feel that no one cares. You feel that no one, how you feel matters, which isn't true. If you're listening to this, it's not true. I may not know you, but I do care. And I want you to know your life is precious and you're valuable. And I can guarantee you there are people that you know around you, whether you live with them or you work with them or go to school with them, or their neighbors and friends that love you and really can't see life being the same without you. And they really hope that you value them as well. So put a higher value on yourself because you're priceless, and know that there's always someone who's willing to listen to you, whether it's parents, sisters, brothers, other relatives, professionals, religious authorities, co-workers, friends. There are volunteers around the world at 800 numbers who are willing to listen and who truly care how you feel and that you stay here and see your full potential and your full value and live a life that's happy for you. And the final way I want to talk about the danger of depression is the spiritual breakdowns. And this happens in many Christians who follow the 10 Commandments, but they're immobilized by frustrations, paralyzed in pursuit of feeling that Christians should act in a certain way. And a lot of these ways sometimes are perpetuated, I should say, by people they're around who put absolutely illogical and unscriptural requirements on people, on dogma, on proving that you're better than someone else or you're holier than thou is no other way to put it. And feeling that there's such hard requirements on being perfect. Well, there's no such thing as leading a perfect life. What there is leading a life that's perfect for you. And only you can decide what that is for you. Yes, it's wonderful that there's values and moral systems within these belief systems. But if you are practicing any habit that causes you to feel inadequate or causes you to feel you don't measure up, or that you're not good enough, or that you're not smart enough, or that you're not loved, or if you make a mistake that God won't love you, then you should probably switch churches or start being around other people. That is not the Christian life. And I can't speak for other religions, but I'm sure pretty much would be the same in those as well. Your spiritual beliefs should never be a cause of extreme depression. It should never be a cause of being a danger for anyone feeling that they just don't measure up. And again, if they are, then seek to be around people that aren't putting ridiculous demands upon you, that aren't even part of the word, that aren't even the basis of living a life that not only brings you joy, but also contributes to joy of others around you just because you're being you. So I think I've gone on much longer than I expected. I hope that these things will help you to recognize some dangers if you've been feeling these feelings for a long time, if you've been experiencing these feelings a long time. If you aren't already speaking with others or receiving help, then I would love to recommend that you reach out and do so immediately. Don't wait. Your life's too precious, and you're too valuable, and you're too wonderful, and you're truly loved. I love you. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. Remember, there is light.